MG have released the biggest car they have ever made, a genuine 7-seater at a pretty unbeatable price. It's packed full of gear and on paper looks really good. But there are a few problems, and is it a case of you get what you pay for? Well, let's have a look. Hi there, I'm Alex Dalrymple. This is my channel, 4 Wheels and a Seat, where I drive new cars every week and tell you what I think about them. If you want to not miss an episode, you need to hit the subscribe button. Do that below the notification bell, and if you enjoy the video, please give me a like. So the MG QS is not technically an MG. It's known as a Rongwei RX-9 in its home market of China, where it's made. But for Australia, they slap an MG badge on it and call it the QS. And from the front, it looks really good. It certainly has a very imposing presence on the road, not dissimilar to the smaller HS model released last year. You can check out my review of that just up there. But I really like the LED driving lights that are sort of like angled number 7s, I guess, that also do double duty as turn indicators. It's a really nice, strong, bold, angular look. Moving around to the side, this particular car is a top spec Essence model, so it gets larger 21-inch alloy wheels, a full-length sunroof, and I don't know, side on, to me, it just reminds me a little bit of a Ford Territory. I don't really quite know why. Little Ultimate badge there on the side as well, because heck, why not? At the back, rear light cluster design looks good. I like the full width LED lights. Down low, there's a couple of, look, I don't want to even call them fake exhausts because they're quite obviously not even that. They're literally 2 bits of plastic stuck onto the bumper bar that look kind of exhaust shaped, but yeah, the real ones are hidden away underneath the car. Under the powered tailgate, with all 3 rows of seats up, you get just 203 litres of cargo space. Knock down the rear seats, that expands to a bit over 500, and knock down both rows of rear seats and you get just over 1,000 litres of stowage space. Under the bonnet sits a 2-litre 4-cylinder turbo petrol engine which outputs its power to all 4 wheels via a 9-speed automatic transmission and outputs 153 kilowatts of power and 360 newton meters of torque. Fuel efficiency clocks in at 8.8 litres per 100 kilometres on a combined cycle. Lower spec cars get the same engine but a front-wheel drive and get slightly better fuel economy. The interior design is really good. It's really nice and clean, a nice mix of materials. We've got soft touch plastic on top, some slightly cheaper feeling plastics around the middle here, and some really authentic looking fake wood that stretches across the middle of the dash all the way around to the doors. The tech though is where we start to run into a few problems, because the 12-inch center console screen looks great, but the software on it is not. Unfortunately, it is a bit laggy, a bit slow. For some reason, it doesn't log into Apple CarPlay automatically when you start the car. You need to do that manually every single time you drive the car, and that is quite annoying. In fact, just to get this car's settings the way I like them on every trip, I need to go through a 30-second button pushing process, which is just a little bit annoying. So I'm connecting Apple CarPlay, I'm turning off the audible overspeed warnings, I'm also turning off the automatic stop start. And to do each of those requires going into about 3 different menus, and it's really quite irritating. I wouldn't want to have to do that every single morning forever. Also, to do things like turning on the heated and cooled seats, you need to go into the climate control menu, and again, that's just not a very efficient way of doing things. It'd be just much easier if there was a shortcut button along the middle here. Interesting, there's also no volume control buttons for the sound system. The only way you can adjust the volume on the sound system is through the steering wheel here with the control over here on the right hand side. So a passenger can't change the volume even if they want to without reaching across the driver, and that's just dangerous. The sound system is by Bose. It has 12 speakers and lacks a bit of bottom end. There are a lot of different options, ways you can customize various functions in this car through this screen. Things like the ambient lighting can be changed to 200 and something different variations. They can pulsate, they can stay on solid. There's also weather information available on here. The images from the cameras dotted around the car are nice and sharp. There's top-down 360 parking view available too, as well as the front and rear parking sensors. Climate control pretty much runs exclusively through the center screen, but you can do things like change the fan speed and access the main menu through this row of shortcut buttons here down below, as well as the front and rear demister. Up here on the floating center console is a wireless phone charging pad and another pad to store another phone perhaps. Gear shifter just kind of rocks backwards and forwards here with the park button placed on top. Nice little roller door here to hide your cup holders. Drive mode controls, there are a few different drive modes. A push button here reveals a good sized center console bin actually, plenty of storage space in there. Hiding underneath the floating center console is another storage space as well as a 12-volt outlet and 2 USB-C ports. We don't get a head-up display, but we do get a very nice 12-inch digital instrument cluster with 3 different very minimalist display modes that are literally just showing you your speed and a rough representation of the engine revs. Or you can actually have full screen maps on here as well, which look really good. Yeah, they're really nice. They also have up-to-date traffic information displayed on them as different colored lines. If it's yellow, it's sort of medium density traffic, red means heavy traffic. The steering wheel, straight out of the MG parts bin. It's the same one that you'll find in the Cyberster, although it doesn't have the nice red leather wrap that one has, but it still feels really good. Flat top, flat bottom, giving it a bit more of a sporty feel. Sound system controls over here on the right. Over on the left-hand side, adaptive cruise controls. And the seats are perforated leather. They are heated and cooled, as well as lumbar support, full electric adjustment. Pretty comfortable actually. Sitting position, great in the cabin. See right out the front of the bonnet, see everything there. Good visibility all around the cabin actually, and nice and light and bright with that full length sunroof on top. So what's it like to drive? Yeah, I don't love it. The main problem is that when you put your foot down, there is a bit of a delay between the engine starting to rev and the car suddenly taking off. It lurches forward. So you put your foot down just a little bit and suddenly you get this extra kind of kick. And after a week of driving, I am a little bit more used to it. I'm knowing to be just a little bit more gentle with it, but it's still not really ideal. And it makes for a little bit of scary low-speed maneuvering when you first get into this car, especially when you're doing things like parking. So that's not ideal. There's no lack of power. It certainly feels powerful enough, and it's not overly noisy. In fact, cabin insulation is really good. There's not a lot of noise coming in from the outside world at all. It's been raining cats and dogs for the last few days here, and in terms of sticking to the road, the car feels very confident and comfortable, but it does kind of roll all over the place a little bit. The suspension could do with just a little bit of work. It's a bit sort of, wobbly for the want of a better term. And hand in hand with that goes the steering, which I think is just a bit too light. There's not a lot of feel going on here, and I'm kind of going side to side here at the moment, and there's not much really going on with the car. So a few points for improvement as far as driving dynamics goes. Another interesting thing, this car has 9 gears, but there is no way to change them manually. There are no paddle shifters, and you can't shift down to manually change gears with the gear shifter. It just doesn't let you do it. Is the MG QS a turn-back car, a car so good looking that you have to turn back and look at it after you've parked it? Look, I'm going to say, yeah, I think it is. It's quite a striking design. There's nothing quite like it on the roads at the moment. It's certainly a notable move away from MG's previous design language, which I always thought imitated Mazda a bit. Now they're very much doing their own thing, and it's quite a striking design. So I think in the early days of owning this car, you would certainly turn back and look at it after you've parked it. So the MG QS really is a bit of a case of you get what you pay for. All the tech and features are there. It's just that if you pay a little more and go to another manufacturer, you might find that they are done a bit better. But you will probably miss out on MG's industry-leading 10-year warranty. So the MG QS is good, but not great.